joins.
Venkat joined, I think.
Yes, he's joined.
I was calling him only. He has joined.
Okay, he's joined.
Yes, madam. Shall we start?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Elugu namaskara. First of all, I wish our chairman happy Eid.
Thank you.
And the people celebrating today's festival. I welcome our chairman of KSC-ASI, Dr. Naaz Jahan Shaikh, for today's program. Today's program is a different one, not the regular academic thing. Only 5 people are taking us into the other world, and I request our chairman to start the program now. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Savesh. Good evening, everyone. Respected dignitaries of ASI, our past president of ASI, and head of the academic social services, Dr. G. Siddesh, executive committee members, and Professor Dr. Sharad Tanga, and all the members who are participating today. Today is the third ASI Surgeon's Time, and we have this unique topic, which is also very interesting for today's discussion. And the topic is Outside the Sterile Zone, a Surgeon's Guide to Nature Photography. And for a surgeon, I feel these are not two different things at all. And we know that a surgeon's world is bounded by precise geometry, and we can call this as a universe of deliberate boundaries. There is a crisp edge of the surgical drape, the intense focus of the OT light, and the rhythmic hum of the monitors. And there is an absolute demand for a sterile perfection here. And in this space, we know that control is paramount and decisions are measured in millimeters, and the mind must operate with a singular, unwavering intensity. And it is a profound privilege, but it is also a world of high pressure and a rigid confinement. And beyond this sterile zone lies the chaotic, breathtaking, and beautifully unscripted world of nature. And here there are no controlled environments, and the wind shifts without warning. The light changes within a fraction of a second, and the wildlife answers to no schedule. Yet, with the swap from the scalpel for a camera, the transition, I would say, is not a departure, but an extension of the skills learned in the operating room. And today, we know that the click makes the difference. And it is not just the camera, because we can have expensive cameras, but if you don't know how to shoot, I think it doesn't make sense at all. And today we will hear the important points in photography, which probably will stir the interest in many of us. And we have with us Dr. Srinivas Pai, who will be moderating this session, Dr. Venkatachala, oncosurgeon from Bangalore, Dr. S.S. Soppimath, a senior surgeon from Hubli, a very well-known laparoscopic surgeon from Hubli, Dr. Arun S.K., from a laparoscopic surgeon from Ballari, and Dr. Jaideep Rathkal, who I would say he has already mentioned, my colleague in Ballari. He's the professor and head of the Department of Urology, KMCRI Hubli. I welcome you all to this program. Over to you, Dr. Sarvesh, for the programs. Thank you.
Mute, sir. Unmute.
Yes, yes.
Sarvesh sir, you're muted.
Yeah. I will hand over the things to Dr. Srinivas for today's program. He is a moderator come speaker because he has also many stuff to show to us. Sir, please.
Okay. Is the slides visible to everybody?
Yes.
Yeah. So as good evening to all. So as mentioned by both the chairman, Dr. Naaz Shaikh, and the secretary, Dr. Sarvesh, today is slightly non-academic, but equally important. Just because it is non-academic, the importance doesn't go away. So today's talk is called Outside the Sterile Zone, a surgeon's guide to nature photography, and we welcome you all. Today we have 4 speakers. Dr. S.S. Soppimath, the senior laparoscopic surgeon from Hubli, avid bird photographer, wildlife photographer, and laparoscopic surgeon. Dr. Arun S.K., well-known conservationist, also a laparoscopic surgeon. We run into each other in the safari sometimes. And Dr. Venkatachala, surgical oncologist, photographer, and very well known in the Bangalore circles here. Dr. Rathkal, professor and HOD of Urology, KSC-ASI. Many a times my partner in crime when I was in Hubli. We used to travel together and we have a lot of episodes. Hope we will try to cover some of them here. So I'll hand over the Eid Mubarak to all. Eid Mubarak to all. And we all need 3 hobbies. One for the body, that's fitness. Dr. Shivram, Dr. Preeti, all these people trek and go for their fitness. One for survival, we need a bank balance to sponsor both for the body trips as well as for the photography. So that is our profession. And that's why we are here on this forum. One for the brain, which is creativity and for stress busting, basically for the soul. And today's session is for this, for the brain. So with no delay, I hand over the screen to Dr. Soppimath. Sir, please share your screen and...
Yeah, you have to stop the screen.
I'll stop sharing now. Yeah.
Hope it is visible.
Yes, sir, yes. Slideshow it's.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone, and thanks to Team KSC-ASI, led by Dr. Naaz, Dr. Sarvesh, and all of you people. And thanks to you for bringing me into it. And some of it may be a little repetition, my slides, because some of you attended my talks earlier on this topic. Maybe it's a little bit mixed and a little bit different. And we know the positive effects of our photography or the any hobbies for that matter, especially this photography as a hobby, that how all it helps. It is amazing that one need to get into this to experience this, all what all can happen and all that. And definitely one's respect for the nature will increase by multifold. And that's very, very important when we get into this photography hobby. I think this also help you to explore the world as a whole. And also you'll meet with so many different people and your body will be ultimately put into a stress at one or the other time, and you'll be exercising because, and also you learn to live with a minimalistic life and enjoy the life and nature and all that. This is how the time will be spent in when we get into the photography and nature photography, bird photography, whatever it is. What's important is that what camera you need to own, what are its functions, where are the knobs that we need to know, and also we need to practice repeatedly. And for surgeons, of course, it's not difficult at all because surgery, we know that it's one of the best form of art with a lot of creativity. And similar thing is about photography. So I think it's very, very easy to embrace this hobby. And of course, we can start with a group by joining different groups and all that. Mindset is important that you want to enjoy the nature, you want to explore the nature, you want to mix up and you want to respect. And you need to take out some time from the profession. It's like a stress buster, as Dr. Pai mentioned. And friends are important, company is important, and gear is important, depending on in which area you want to foray. In fact, I must say that Dr. Pai and Dr. Jaideep have been my mentors, and Arun also. They have been inspiring people for me to start my journey as a photographer. These are important things which we need to remember whenever we start actually getting into the photography hobby, that this is the triangle, what to say, that we should know that shutter speed, how it is important, and the aperture size, and how it can affect the depth of field, and also the ISO sensitivity, whatever it is, that of course we need to remember. This about depth of field, which is very, very important when you want to do a bird photography or nature photography, because in landscape, we need a very depth of field should be very, very large, like front, forefront, background, everything should be in focus to highlight that is one. Whereas in bird photography, you need to narrow down depending on what is your interest, like just like this. As there is shallow depth of field, only small area will be focused. When the aperture size is small or f-stop is high, then the whole thing may be in focus. This is what we need to remember. Just like in this, one bird is in focus, the branch is in focus, everything, but rest of them are little blurred who are not in the same plane as they move away. So this is what is important. ISO, how it affects, most of us are used to mobile camera. Whenever you take a night snap in some function, you see a lot of grainy things appear. That's what, how it matters. So that's what is the sensitive, what we call it as. Whenever the ISO is low, then the clarity will be much better, sharpness will be better. When the ISO is high, then there will be a lot of grain things, and what we call it as nice. This is like a perfect exposure like this. What you can see is the sharpness. There is no noise, nothing, and a very sharp, clean image where everything is well demarcated. And such ideal setups, that you rarely get it. And this, when the shutter speed is very fast, then you can freeze the water droplets. I think this bird is running on the water away from it, trying to fly. This so you can freeze that moment that you can see the water droplets and all. When the shutter speed is low, this milky flow like water thing, river and all this, what happens in landscape. And this again, for this moment, the shutter speed is slow. That's why you can see that the wings are a little blurred, whereas the bird, only head and body, which is a little stable, I think is in focus. Probably for this entire wings to appear sharp, probably it needed a high shutter speed. So we all need to manage, handle the camera shake, maybe by good light, the distance, the shutter speed adjusting, and body and hand movement, you need to be very stable. Of course, now the cameras come with a higher function where the shake can be avoided and you get a clean image. Landscape is a little more challenging in the sense you need a proper framing. Your mindset is what you want to capture in that landscape. It's a huge thing. So you must focus on what you want to capture and depth of field depending on what area you are trying to cover, which area you want it to be in focus. And leading lines, horizontal lines, the planes and all, it's all important. Where you want to keep the horizon, maybe most of the times, maybe the horizon is on the higher side in the mid frame like this, or depending on whether the sky is more dramatic or the ground is more dramatic, you may want to shift it. Landmarks, if they're there, you want to cover them. And of course, you can always break the rules. You want to make it more creative. So it's just one of this photograph, you can see the layers here. The forefront is also in focus, and the background also focus. Just because of fogginess and you may not be able to see on that. You can count the layers and all that. The depth of field is very high in this. So this is how we can focus for landscape. This again, moonscapes and lake, as you can see, Lamayuru. And you can see that the forefront is also in focus. The last mountain peak also is in focus. This is how the depth of field is very, very important. It's sad. I feel saddened to say that this all landscapes are getting destroyed now. When I went recently, this kind of look is destroyed now. So again here, the landscapes, what you want to cover, the mountain peak, the ice, and the colors in the mountains. This is what you need to do. This again, way beyond Nubra Valley, when you travel towards the Tutuk, you will get this kind of landscape. This is Juluk, that is East Sikkim. I don't know how many of you have traveled. A beautiful landscape. You can see the hairpin bends and all when you want to go to the top. And this is what you want to cover, that that's the last one what you see is the Juluk. And this is where you come to the sunrise spot, traveling all along the way. And this is in Kenya. You see the leading lines by the road which is formed and a dramatic foreground. That's why we have kept this very high. And the background also, you can see the elephants walking at the horizon there. So this gives a very fantastic look. There is a heavy dark clouds indicating that it's going to be heavy rain there. And again, as I said, here the horizon, I have kept it much low because the sky is more dramatic. So nothing much is happening on the ground as such. But after the sunset is more important because the other side turns into very dramatic colors it throws with that whenever the clouds are there. So this is how we change it. Whenever you want to expose the snow, you need to overexpose a little to bring that whiteness, otherwise it appears little ash colored or little gray colored. This kind of scenario is rare for us to get. You need to go to very interior place where the environment is very clean. It's one of the East Sikkim village where we traveled interior, no street lights, nothing, no light, this one pollution there. This is what you get, the stars on the ground kind of a look. So you need a very slow shutter speed in this. You have to take a tripod for that. Similar one, this is Pongangso, where you can see dramatic night. It was somewhere around 11:30 or 12 in the night, chilly night, and very bright moonlight and covered by the clouds. This is how we can do. The second landscape, you can see the leading lines and nice reflections and all that. This all will give a dramatic effect when you want to cover land. This is like a postcard picture. This is from Lakshadweep, where you can see a nice boat there, and it gives a typical dramatic look and the sky sunset appearance and all that. This appears very, very beautiful. This is, of course, Pongangso in Leh, and you see the line as if a beautiful brush has painted this picture. Little bit of editing has been done, no over editing, but this is what is there. And this, of course, is Songa Lake, which is where we travel from Sikkim to north toward Nathula. It's the beautiful reflection, snow, and partly frozen lake, and you get a nice, beautiful picture in this. The same one, you can see the other side, the building, which gives a dramatic effect. So what you want to cover, how you want to cover, how you want to place is very, very important. This event early morning for a bird photography, but this was nice scene, nice setup. So I just thought I'll take this picture. And this, of course, is Pai's favorite photograph. And we did display this. And while travel, suddenly notice this and stop there and take this picture. And this composition is always haunting for me and always remain. This is what is called a star trail, where you go in the less nice polluted area, you sit in the night and expose for a longer period, each movement, fixed camera and fix an angle, and 10 to 15 seconds you need to expose. You have to take hundreds of snaps, and then you collect them to appreciate the movement of the stars. This is nothing but the movement of the stars, which the earth rotates and stars also is rotating. So you can capture that as a star trail. This is one of the very haunting picture for me. And of course, you know that moon eclipse and right moon, what we call it as, different pictures of the phases and all that. Street photography, always interesting. Just have a presence of mind. Something interesting always catches you. Be ready to pick it up. And you see the happiness on his face. And this girl, I don't know what is running in her mind. It's so intriguing expression on her face. You can look at the hair strands and all that. It's something deep meaning is there. I'm not able to grasp it. So this kind of thing. He may not be rich, but he's the happiest man on this earth. So these things will catch you everywhere. And these two cute girls, when I was in the Leh Ladakh, the two girls looking both in different direction. This gave a fantastic thing. And you can really look into the nature around you. You don't have to go far away. All these are flowers, the dew droplets, the flowers. You can use a macro photography to get this, and different colors. Flowers are my favorites. Especially right kind of exposure is required, and they give a fantastic pictures as you go. Here, the focus is very important. Sharpness is important. Sometimes I can see the spider threads also here. So everything you can appreciate. Mammal photography again it's very, very attractive, and of course Pai is a master in that. You can see the expression there, a tiger hiding behind the bush trying to walk in front, and head on shot like this. Of course he has fantastic shot, better snap than me. And here you can, as if the endoscopic picture, you can get the mouth, pharynx, everything and all that. And these zebras, they give a beautiful combination of lines, black and white. I made it deliberately black and white picture so that I could appreciate. And backside, who doesn't love? So beautiful it is there. And of course, the you all know that black bucks, this is a baby black buck, which is just jumping around, got scared and ran away. But you can see that it's trying to look back with the eyes. So who is behind me, it's because it wants to run away. And of course, Pai has got a fantastic picture of a mother and baby. And this is one of the picture from Kenya. How many of us have really appreciated Myna can be so beautiful? Look at its eyes, look at the color, look at the feathers, look at this one. So we don't even Myna, we just neglect them. But in the camera, when you capture it properly, this is the beauty what you get. This is called is Naurang or Indian Pitta. You can say so many colors because it got 9 colors in its body displayed. This, of course, is the topmost bird of Vietnam. People wait for days to see this. This is called as blue pitta. And this is Miltawa escape. You can see the colors, the shades, everything and all that. Malabar, we'll see what we say. And again, you can see, yes. and starling, Malabar starling, and you can see the feathers, everything in the background, everything very, very important. This is rose finch. It's from again from Naaz, and Scope's owl, and this was the grey fronted European pigeon. You can see the eyes, how beautiful it is, and who wouldn't love it? This slaty, this one, parakeets, slaty-headed parakeets, again from Naaz. And of course, Malabar parakeet, this just from Dandeli. Look at the setup, the beautiful setup, how it is sitting, and the frame and all that. And when they look into your eyes, there's the most thrilling one when you look at it, eyes are looking. And when they're flying, again, then they open out the wings. This is a frozen picture. You need a very high shutter speed. You can count the feathers in its wings. This is a Asian fairy blue, what we call it as. This is ashy drongo. Again, you can see the beautiful setup, a flower there. And you can see how sharply it is focused, the eyes and everything. It's a fantastic one of my favorite. It's an Indian roller with the wings open. We rarely see this kind of, image only unless you capture. This is an orange minimate. This, of course, is again my favorite. Asian paradise flycatcher, male. And birds, I tell you, they're lovely birds. They're very romantic, as you can see here. They know how to express their love towards their partner. I think we have something to learn from them. White bellies, tree pies, and these are Rufus cibias. And you know that this again is a flame-throated bulbul. You can see that catching the rod. And parenting, we have to learn from them. They take care of their babies so well. You can see the mother feeding it, baby. And the baby is so disciplined. The mother has left an instruction, don't come out, just stay there. It stays there. Try to see whether the mother is around so that all those predators will be around. And the moment there is a sound, it just suddenly goes into inside. Indian Kosa, there's a baby there, the couple is there. And what signal they give, I do not know. How the baby understands, I do not know. The signal is given, baby just stands down and mother stays there. And mother calls the baby inside. Baby walks under the mother and it just covers and hides it. This is the mother protects from the predators. Once that threat is gone, then it says, okay, come out. And the baby comes out. The same thing here. It's a bustard, white-bellied bustard from Kenya. Baby is sitting down, as if the mother is telling, sit down, there is something wrong. So, and then I think as if the baby is asking, is the threat gone? Mother says, yes, those idiots are gone. I think you can come up. So it gets up. So what sort of communication? How do they communicate? How they tell? Here the drongos, the mother drongo is teaching the baby how to bring out different sounds. And it doesn't leave it. I just stood there for nearly 5 minutes. Till that came out properly, mother did not leave the baby at all. So it has to follow that. So, and many things do follow if you are little observant. This you can see that black-headed ibis where it's got the snake, and someone comes from behind and just lands right in front of it, as if behaving that it's minding just its own business. But at one fine moment, it comes nearer, picks up the snake from the other bird, and just flies away. So this is how it stole the feed, and everybody is left startled and just helpless. And also they have some leadership, that always they look for the threats and all that. The leader is the one who indicates, till I fly, you don't fly. So here the leader is flying, the team leader, then the rest of them are getting ready. This is discipline what they have. There are some life lessons also. The big people, they don't bother about the small people. So they will be just like an elephant. Whatever the noise they make, whatever they do, they'll be just sitting quietly. They don't care for this. It doesn't have to be an unusual bird. A very, very common bird, but a beautiful setup. So this what should be appealing when you take a frame. And same here, it's a nice landscape, the bird flying down, the trees there, and it's again a dream state here. This is what we need to explore, we need to capture so that we can go back and revisit, because unless we revisit, these are all create stories in our memory, where we visited, when we went there, what was seen and all that. Rosy starling, it's just like a painting there as art. This is amazing when you look at it. So these are the things what you see. I don't think anyone has seen such a beautiful catwalk in their life. You can't match the pelicans. With what grace they are walking and how much grace they carry when they walk. And so much beautiful feeling it comes when you look at them, and they're so beautiful. The way they walk, so gracefully. Pelicans just not far away, near Bagalkot it is. Any of you can go, just near us, very near us. And of course, this is the most meditative scene what you can see as they keep flying. So just focus, sit there, keep enjoying. That's all. It's the most beautiful thing that can happen. And you don't have to do anything. You're definitely, stress is going to be relieved and you are going to get recharged and come back for your work. With this, I'm going to end the talk because there are many other speakers. Hope I have not taken much time. With this, I wish to end my talk because I was told to speak only for 10 minutes. I hope maybe I have taken 1 or 2 minutes more. I don't know. Thank you, Dr. I think I need to stop sharing.
Yeah.
Fine.
Am I sharing now the main screen?
Yes, sir.
Our next speaker is Dr. Arun S.K. He's a lab surgeon and conservationist, which not many people know, but I know, and avid wildlife enthusiast more than a photographer. So go ahead, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. I don't know how many people know about me. I'm Dr. Arun S.K. I'm from Bellary. I'm a laparoscopic surgeon. Let me talk about very briefly about what I've been doing for the past almost 27 years after completing my MS and after my training in Bombay and Delhi. Then I came back to Bellary. I've been a laparoscopic surgeon for almost about 27 years now. Been an operating faculty in surgical conferences, trained many surgeons. Have presented lots of videos as well as papers in conferences. I have won a couple of traveling fellowship awards as well as from Karnataka State ASI as well as IAGS. One of my I was also invited by German Society to give a talk on laparoscopy in small towns of India, where I was invited along with Dr. Palnivelu to their national conference in Berlin in 2008. I have conducted in my hospital one bariatric workshop as well as laparoscopic workshop in the year 2011. It was a bariatric surgery workshop was done for the first time in North Karnataka. I have also been an executive committee member of AMASI from South Zone and been a president of IMA Bellary. So this is in brief about my passion in my profession, that's about laparoscopy. Apart from this, so next slide, sir. Thank you. So what I realized, of course, the passion is laparoscopy. I've been doing laparoscopy, as I just mentioned, for quite a while. Then I realized, there's much more in life than surgery. So I had another passion in my life, that's wildlife. Since being a kid, obviously, I was very much interested in wildlife. I've been visiting lots of national parks. My father used to take me to the national parks in Karnataka, and I've been enamored as well as, I have fallen in love with tigers as well as leopards. So once I stabilized in my profession, I thought, might as well do something which I was very much keen to do. That's go into wildlife. So I started my wildlife journey in the year 2008, 2009. I had a very close friend of mine, very senior forest officer called Mr. Vijay Raj. Now he's a PCF in Karnataka. So he was my classmate and a very close friend of mine. And one fine day I spoke to him and, he said, why don't you join me to Bhadra National Tiger Reserve, where he was the director then. So the journey started in the year 2008. So I picked up photography in the year 2010, bought my first camera. Then I went into wildlife. I was more of a birder initially. You can say I can identify about 500 birds. India has got about 1,200 odd species of birds. I can, about 40 to 50% of the birds, I think I can identify and have photographed. Presently, I've been the wildlife warden of my district. This is my third term, where, the state government, every district has got a wildlife warden, which is an honorary post. And this is my third term in Bellary. I have done lots of work with regard to wildlife conservation. Mr. Pai, when I spoke to him in the morning, Dr. Pai, he told me, speak more of conservation, what you've been doing. Dr. Soppimath spoke about the birds and the photography per se, as how it has to be shot and the camera settings, what needs to be done. So cameras, its aim and shoot is much simpler, of course. But once you have an advanced camera in your hands, obviously you need to learn the intricacies of how to use the camera as well as the camera settings, and that would take time. Repeated visits to in the backyard of your town, or visiting other places far away, obviously you would pick up. And if you have good friends around you who know something about photography, definitely that would help you, as well as to pick up the intricacies and the trade of how to make a good photograph. Apart from that, since I've been asked to speak more about the conservation, what I've been doing, and what been done in my district as such per se, but that's Bellary. I've been a honorary wildlife warden for almost about, this is my third term, and have conducted lots of wildlife workshops with the help of forest department. One of the major things which we did in Karnataka was in my district was in 2016, 2017, when we conducted a Karnataka Bird Festival, when I was the chief organizer of that, and we had more than 1,000 delegates coming to Hampi. Then I've been the state committee of introduction of wolves in North Karnataka, but as such, the committee is not that active since a couple of years now, and I have been in the committee of which I think I'll talk about it and stress on that later, about the Great Indian Bustard, which we are very, very proud of. Have been actively involved in expansion and declaring wildlife protected areas in Bellary district. Bellary has got amazing wildlife. I keep telling people that apart from tigers and elephants, we have almost most of the mammals around here, and especially North Karnataka, we have about 260 species of birds in our area. That's in North Karnataka, and I have been resource person as well as a speaker in many of the forest department seminars as well as functions. And I very frequently I visit schools and talk about conservation, talk to the children, interact with the children, and talk about the conservation as well as about the photography, and educate them with regard to wildlife as well as birds. And I've been honored by the department many a times with regard to conservation work. And apart from that, I've been involved in helping the filmmakers, especially with White Karnataka, and we have shot a couple of movies of places in Bellary also, which I've been a part of. And of course, since I've been a photographer for quite a while, so I have been a judge in few competitions too, and my photos have been published in national as well as international magazines. So coming back to conservation, since I mentioned about the Bellary district, which I would like to stress on, people would think North Karnataka has it's supposed to be a Baisime. We don't have much of wildlife in that our area. So people will talk about only of South Karnataka having tigers as well as elephants, obviously. So people would like to go to places in South Karnataka to visit wildlife places. But North Karnataka, especially Bellary, we have amazing wildlife. We have Bellary has got 4 protected areas. We have 2 sloth bear sanctuaries. One I'm sure everybody is aware of is the Daroji Bear Sanctuary. I'm talking about undivided. Naaz, I'm not talking about your Vijayanagar district. I'm talking about undivided Bellary district. So we have one Daroji Bear Sanctuary, which I'm sure everybody have heard about it, which is very close to Hampi, which is the first bear sanctuary which was notified in the whole of India. Then we have one more bear sanctuary called Gudakote Bear Sanctuary, which is about 1 hour drive from Bellary, which has got almost about 60 to 70 sloth bears there. And apart from sloth bears, we have lots of leopards there, as well as a few antelopes, as well as plenty of bird life. And of course, I think people have heard of otters. That's called Nirnai. We call it in Karnataka, in Kannada. So otters, river otters, that's called smooth-coated otters, we call it. So we have a conservation area along the banks of, along the river Tungabhadra, which is called as the Otters Conservation Area, which runs right from Kampli Bridge towards Hampi, which is about a 33 kilometers run of the river, where we have plenty of smooth-coated otters. Apart from this, which I would like to stress upon, is our Great Indian Bustard. Great Indian Bustard is a huge bird, which is stands almost about 3 feet in height, which is very, very critically endangered. We have about, roughly in India, we have about 120 or 130 birds, wild birds, mainly concentrated in Rajasthan, as well as, some amount of birds keep flying into Pakistan also. So the next we have it in Gujarat. Then we had few birds in Maharashtra, which has not been recorded for quite a while now in Maharashtra. The next is in Karnataka. That's in our district. That's very close to Sirigupa. It's about 10-15 kilometers from Sirigupa. So we've been following these birds. We have about 5 to 6 birds in our area, which is highly critically endangered. Only 120 or 130 birds exist in the world. And our area, that is Sirigupa, we have about 6 birds. So we are into conservation. Initially, the government didn't help much. The forest department was not aware of it. So since about 15 years, we've been talking about it, and we've been talking to the forest department, and later the forest department woke up and, they sat up and they said, we need to conserve this area. And of course, the High Court of Karnataka also was made aware of how we need to conserve these birds. If not, the future generations are going to not come across these birds, and we're going to lose the species. So the forest department, under the guidance of High Court of India, High Court of Karnataka, formed a committee, which I'm a part of this committee. And now for the past almost 10 years now, we are working quite hard, and lots of money have been pumped into, and we are trying to save that bird, the area. The problem is we don't have, these birds live only in grasslands. So they survive eating insects as well as smaller mammals. We are losing grasslands fast. People are converting grasslands into wetlands and as well as agricultural land fields. Hence, we're losing this bird. Very interesting aspect about this bird is Salim Ali, the famous ornithologist of India, when the government of India was trying to choose the national bird, Salim Ali, when he suggested this bird to be the national bird of India, of course, during that time, the government didn't accept this proposal, and the peacock was made the national bird of India. Otherwise, the Great Indian Bustard would have been the national bird of India. So we are working quite hard with regard to this conservation in our area. And presently, we have about 5 to 6 birds, but frequently we get to hear and we get to see about a couple of these birds. Because these birds are quite heavy, they cannot fly far, and they cannot fly at a very higher height. So they fly for about a couple of kilometers, and they need to land because they're about 7 to 8 kgs in weight. They keep flying into, since Sirigupa comes very close to Andhra Pradesh, it's a border area. So the birds keep flying into Andhra Pradesh, as well as they keep coming back. Surprisingly, these birds are quite adapted to our area, even though you have plenty of agricultural fields. So they have adapted, and hopefully in future, we might have much more birds coming in this area. Lots of conservation is happening with regard to GAB in Rajasthan. I had the opportunity to go along with the forest department officers 2 years ago to Rajasthan, visited those places where they're doing fantastic conservation work with that. They have promised, in fact, if at all they have extra birds, they might give it to our state. Now, one more promising area is in Ranibanur, so which was already had Great Indian Bustards, but they have disappeared. So hopefully in future, we might try to get these birds in our area, and some amount of conservation might happen. So next, sir. This is one more place in North Karnataka is which is very, very dear to me, because I'm the son-in-law of Gadag. So we have a lake called Magdi in near, very close to Gadag. So we have about 3,000 to 4,000 birds coming to the area every year. These birds fly from across the Himalayas and come over here, and especially in the month of November, they stay up till March first week, and they fly back. So we get to see these birds, and it's a real treat to watch 4,000 birds flying everywhere, and settling here for a few months. The next, sir. And apart from this, I do lots of photography. My main interest, as just mentioned to you, of course, birds, which is my first love, and cats, that's leopards as well as tigers. I have traveled extensively all over India, as well as to Africa, as well as Bhutan, with regard to my wildlife photography as well as bird photography. And the photograph which you get to see is the leopard bear, which this photograph won an award in one of the competitions in Karnataka. And this picture of mine, which won the award, was exhibited in the 4 corners of Bangalore. So it was a real pleasure for me to take a selfie of my photography of that leopard, as well as myself. And of course, you get to see this the monsoons. If you go to places of South Karnataka, you have an amazing greenery as well as wildlife activity. Next, sir. And of course, I'll come back to my district again. So this bird, it's called as the yellow-throated bulbul, which is seen and present is only in South India, nowhere else in the world. In South India also, few pockets of South India, especially in few pockets in Tamil Nadu, in few places in Andhra, but you get to see this yellow-throated bulbul, which is also very endangered in our district, that's in Hampi. Invariably, you look for this bird in Hampi, you'll come across this bird. This is called yellow-throated bulbul, very unique bird. And Bellary, we are very proud of this bird, because you'll get 100% sighting. Go look for the bird in Hampi, definitely get to see this bird. And of course, this is the mating pair, the male and the female leopard. This was also shot in Hampi. I went there every week, every day in a week, in 7 days in the afternoons. These leopards were sitting on the hillock very close to a village. I started operating, usually I operate in the afternoons. That week when I realized you had the leopards on that hillock, so I went there every afternoon. And one fine day, on my 7th day, both the leopards came and sat together for about a minute or so, and they walked inside the cave. So where I could take this picture. Of course, even this picture has won an award for me. Next, sir. And I'd just like to conclude saying that, of course, your life is your story, but make sure you write well and keep editing often. Thank you. Hope I maintain the time. Bye, sir.
Yes, sir. 1 minute. I'm just unmuting myself. No worries, sir. No worry. And excellent talk on conservation, and exactly what we wanted. Like I know that you're a conservationist from a long time. I've heard from the wildlife people. We don't tell the locations usually of these rare birds. So
no,
no, we should not share them. That's what I'm very much.
No. People, the only very rare bird is the great Indian bustard. Of course, people know about it because it's come all over. It's all over in the news. But obviously, nobody's allowed there. The forest department has become very strict, and nobody's allowed to go there. I just mentioned the taluka, that's Sirgupa, but the area is not mentioned, and nobody is encouraged to go there.
No, yes, sir. We'll have a discussion in the end, time permitting. So our next speaker is Professor Jaideep Rathkal. He's the head of Department of Urology in KSC-ASI Hubli, and he was my safari partner till both of us became HOD. Then for some reason we couldn't. I was working in SDM as HOD surgery, and sir became the HOD of in urology in Hubli. So both of us became so busy that our timings didn't match. But we went together. So I'll hand it over to Jaideep, sir. Sir, please go ahead.
Good evening. Thank you, Paimam. And after hearing Dr. Soppimath and Arun talking about bird photography and conservation, I am basically telling my story of developing photography and I'm pitching the idea why others should not take up photography in whichever genre you want to select. So in the beginning, I had taken a membership of this timeshare holidays, and I was accumulating. So my friend was visiting from UK, and we decided suddenly to go to Corbett Park. We were so unprepared that I carried a camcorder innocently thinking that the tigers will be waiting for me to make a movie. You get to see a lot of National Geographic and think that you can do the same thing. But unfortunately, the park was closed, so we had to go to a sort of buffer area. And even then, we could sight two tigers, one male, huge male, but since before you could collect the camcorder and shoot, they disappear. So this sort of triggered my interest into wildlife photography. And next, the same friend had come every year, he would visit, and we decided to go to Rajasthan. It so happened that we missed a train, and then we had to go to Ranthambore by chance because our driver promised safari tickets. So we said we will take the chance. So in that safari, we could see this Sundari, the daughter of Machli, the famous tigress. She attempted to hunt a sambar deer in front of all the safari jeeps, but she was disappointed. She missed the hunt. And the same tigress, next day we could see has hunted sambar deer in the night and was eating. Next slide, please. And now we were ready for National Geographic kind of mood, and the interest into wildlife was all stimulated, and we started thinking of visiting different national parks. And unfortunately, the high of Ranthambore was gone soon, because next time when we visited Kanha, out of 6 safaris, all of them turned out to be dry, and we couldn't even see one tiger. And the same thing happened when we visited Sasangir in 2014, again the dry safari. And this sort of set me thinking, like, should I indulge in this expensive habit? Because traveling all the way to different national park and coming empty-handed without a photograph to show to your people or your friends or whatever. And I used to travel as a professional thing to coastal Karnataka, and one of my surgical colleagues' son, he was already doing a bird photography and he had excellent knowledge. He was in school. He was in, I think, 6th or 7th standard. So that triggered my interest. I had a camera, but then I didn't have a subject because I couldn't travel much far from my workplace and all that. So traveling to coastal area was easier. And then I decided to shift my sort of area of photography to birding photography, because birds are available all over. You don't have to move out of your neighborhood or even your backyard to photograph a few birds. Next slide, please. Now, why one should do bird photography? It's cheaper because your travel is not expensive and you can do all the birdings in your neighborhood, and you have your weekends to do photographies a short distance from your place of residence, and you can see many photographs. And in fact, if you have a slightly wooded area behind your backyard, you can see many of the birds. It only requires some kind of interest in us to look for the birds. If you look around birds, you will definitely see a lot of birds in your neighborhood, which you would have missed if you had not looked for. And by this time, I had a better camera and a telephoto lens with a longer range. And believe me, every photograph is voyeuristic in its nature, and you would want a longer telephoto or a zoom camera, which can sort of reach objects at a distance And then we had social media coming up with, in fact, I interacted a lot with Arun and Facebook. We spoke about old magazine house and all that. And on the social media, we had Indian birds from which we could learn a lot of stuff in identifying the birds, sharing our photographs, and then learning our lessons out of them. Next one. And this is our Karnataka state bird, which is called as the Indian roller. This was near, very close to my place. It's hardly about 5 kilometers from my area, and this was a lakeside. And this bird was hunting, and then you can see actually a small piece of food in its mouth, and it is about to settle into a perch. Next one. And this I could photograph again in the same area, a small pygmy woodpecker. We feel that woodpeckers will have to search into the forest. This one was very close to the same Devargudiya lake, which is very close to this place of residence. And this woodpecker was trying to peck its way through into a cement concrete block. So these kind of encounters make things easily. And at the same area, I could see this black-shouldered kite looking at its focus on trying to look at its victims or whatever one can say. The next one, please. And this is again at the same area. I usually don't go much far from my place. Devargudiya is my favorite area. I have photographed many of the birds which are visitors there and all that, even the rose finch, some of the rarer birds. I think Arun had reported one bird. I think the Shaikh's pipit or something of that sort, which was seen in Dandeli. The same bird I could photograph in this. Unfortunately, my hard disk is wiped out. I can't retrieve that photographs. This is open bill stark. The open bill is basically to crush the snails in between that. So here it has caught a crab basically, and it is trying to break open the shell to eat its way. And this is just behind my house. I could photograph this from my window. And this is the orange-headed thrush. It's urban area, orange-headed thrush. We usually photograph them in Dandeli or something, but I could photograph this. Only thing is, I was ready with my camera. I was looking for them. So the basic thing is, you must look for birds or objects around your place. You will definitely find. Most of the times we go through our life without looking at what is happening around us, without interest. And this is a female pied bushat. It's very photogenic bird. It poses for you in a different thing. Same thing with male also. So when you start birding, this is the bird you must start focusing on, because you can learn photography on this bird alone. Next one. And then birding consists of both. We are documenting the endemic birds which are around us, and then the migratory birds. Migration of birds is one of the most fascinating areas a birder usually gets interested in, because these birds, it is said that they use the Earth's geomagnetic field to exactly coming to the same area every year and again. Like Arun said, Magdi, the bar-headed geese come in thousands every year in a particular time, and they leave exactly after that period is over. So we don't know why, how they travel this far distance, come exactly to the same place. It is being studied, and people sort of tag these birds with the collars and all. Then they identify different places, trace their path of migration. The biggest, I think many of you must have received a video of a bar-tailed godwit recently, and earlier the golden Pacific plover. These birds travel a long distance. They are all small birds, but they travel long distance and then go back again to the same areas during winters. And then where do we try to find our birds? These are the places where, like lakeside, woods, grasslands. Grasslands are coming down quite rapidly, and it is an alarming thing. And then orchards. Orchards are still around because humans have always been fascinated with fruits. So orchards, I feel, will be around. And then again, the backyard. Most important thing is backyard. Look around your places. You will find many birds in your neighborhood. Then whenever we visit national parks, of course, sighting the tigers, leopards is not the only thing. You can find many birds also, which you can photograph. Birds are really fascinating if you try to observe record their sort of movements and all that, and then come back and see. There is a lot to learn from the birds. Imagine a bird which builds a nest, and then a next heavy rain, the bird nest gets washed off, and it doesn't complain. It starts building its nest again. So there's a lot of stuff to learn from the birds. And this is one of the migratory birds. This I could photograph in the Goodyard Lake area. This is little stint. It usually migrates from Arctic. Such a long distance it migrates to our area. And I was fortunate enough to photograph this. I didn't know the idea, but then again, the social media page of Indian birds helped me to identify this. The next one. Now, this is a harrier, a Montagu harrier, which used to visit the grassland in between Hubli and Dharwad. The grasslands are all gone now. There is a lot of construction activity. I'm not sure the harriers are visiting anymore. Maybe we find somewhere in the Dharwad outskirts, but I'm not sure we find them anymore. And this is a European roller, which is similar to Indian roller, but it comes from Europe. Only thing is it is sort of colored pale. The colors are not as evident as the Indian roller. Next one. These are all migratory, and this is called as a blue throat. You can make out why it is called as a blue throat, because there is a necklace kind of thing around its neck. This again migrates during winters. This I photographed in Mangala Jodi, and it also comes to Hubli once in a while. Yeah, but again, it's lost. And this is what has changed for me. I have become more patient, curious, and my respect for nature has increased. You would observe when you start going into nature that nature will reveal if you are prepared to observe. And the chances are very finite and disappointment are more. So what it teaches us to is, and then the exciting corners are around the corner. This, I think Paima will remember, we had a dry safari, we were coming back, and suddenly we saw this bull started running around next to a jeep. And before we could pick up our cameras, and then we saw this tigress, Krishna. She was chasing this bull. But unfortunately, she couldn't catch the tigress. But these kind of exciting moments do happen. And they're always around the corner. One needs to be aware of them. So the next one. And the question to ask is it worthwhile? Is it worthwhile to indulge all your time, your expenses, and all that? I would say definitely yes. And you don't have to invest big. A binocular will do.
Sorry.
Yeah. And now these days, better and cheaper forms of aim and shoot cameras available with long range, like say Nikon P900 or something. You can buy one, carry it, easy to carry, and you can go wherever you go, you can photograph. Photography is to document your memories also, and birdings. Once you start documenting, believe me, your observation will definitely increase. And it is said that human eye is the best camera one. So I would say stay curious, stay stupid. And then it is a great detox for your having worked your weekends operating and all that. And I'm sure everyone would have faced stressful moments while operating. And weekends are the best time to detox. Go around into the nature, photograph, document them, come back and study. And it opens a vast field for you. And we cannot see nature as separate from ourselves. We are all part of nature. So we can't say that nature photography, we are photographing, staying outside the need. We are part of the photographs. So we need to respect it more. And having done all this detox and curious patience and all that, you can do a better job in sterile zone is my take. Next one. So what keeps us addicted? These are the moments which keep us addicted. This was a cup of this one. I think both Paimam was with me. Both of us were photographing. The left one is from Bandhagarh. The other one is from Corbett, like where I started. This is a cub of Parwali, which is now a dominant tiger in that Parwali area. This was hunting a fawn. It it played with this fawn for a long time before it killed it. So it was curious that what it was. Such are the moments in wildlife one needs to document and then learn from it, and it will definitely sort of makes you a better person. So next one. So I will end my slide leaving this saying that the man is the most insane of species. He worships an invisible God and destroys a visible nature. Whenever that the nature is destroying is the God he is worshipping. Thank you.
So, thank you, sir, for the lucid and frank advice regarding expenses, and you need not spend so much. So, our next speaker is Dr. Venkat. Dr. Venkat? Hello?
Can I share the screen myself from my side?
Yeah. This is you are able to see?
Yeah, you can stop this. I will share it from here.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Yep. Go ahead, sir.
Are you able to see?
Yes, sir. We are able to see, but put it on slideshow.
No, because 1 second, I will just take it again. Yeah. Okay, now?
No, sir, it's coming on slideshow only. Yeah, now it's okay.
Right.
Keep going.
So thank you very much, KSC-ASI. We all, I think, we were a bit slower than Arun or Soppimath sir or Rathkal sir or Srinivas Pai sir, because we are youngsters. So we started the group with a small camera. If you can really, if you actually, if you see the camera, means one of the 4 megapixel simple digital cameras we used to carry just for passion of seeing the wildlife, not very serious where we were heading. Then what happened was this one of the photographs taken at Bandhavgarh. Bandhavgarh, the dry seasons, if you visit in summers, you can see tigers at 1 kilometer distance, much better than what you can sight it in Karnataka or Todoba. Because the grass, or Jim Corbett, because the grass and the bushes are more here. So then we met few people like Dr. Prashant or Tumkur surgeon, Dr. Arvind Gubi, and few other enthusiasts from Bangalore. So along with enjoying the beauty of nature, we also started we are one among the nature. We are also part of nature. We started innovating and learning new things, the photography skills and editing skills improved thanks to seeing photographs of Dr. Soppimath sir and Arun and others here, Dr. Spy and others. And then we purchased better cameras. Slowly we upgraded our cameras, lenses. As Dr. Rathkal suggested, you can go for fixed zoom prime lenses, which are very expensive, or you can go for telescopic lenses, which come for around 80,000-90,000 also, or for the P9100 or P1000, where they're cheaper, but definitely a DSLR is always a better option. So we have a few teams. So the gastro team in Karnataka, oncology, oncologists also. We regularly, even among the surgical group also, we regularly go for safaris. Sir was mentioning, Rathkal sir, that outside Karnataka the sighting is better. Definitely yes. You go, you see lots of tigers in Kana or Bandhavgarh and Tadoba, Ranthambore, feel it also. But seeing our own tigers, the color, you can see the marks, the colors. This color and mark, not the dark orange, you won't get it in other states. So that is the advantage of our own tigers. You can see the color, our own tigers, the reflection, what we can capture in our own backyards in Kabini and Bandipur. Of course, Bhadra also there are a good number of tigers, but the sighting is pretty low there. Recently, it was famous for the Black Panther. So again, taken at Kabini only, the famous backwater tigress. She was injured in a combat with a male tiger, and when she had young cubs, she refused to mate. She has been moved to Mysore Zoo. So she was like a celebrity there, constantly posing for the cameras. The Machli of Karnataka, same female coming out of the water hole. This is in Ranthambore, one of the female tigers in zone 5, I think. So, odd summer, she was enjoying a dip. When she saw us, she started moving out. See, and this is again from Kabini. She, after the backwater female was taken to Mysore Zoo, this female, where other tigers, males as well as females, they run away when they hear the jeep sounds. Because one or two tigers were captured, and then because of injury, one sub-adult female was released back to the wild. But the moment she hears the sound of the jeeps, she runs away. She doesn't face them or come near. But this female with her cubs has been the main highlight in the Karnataka Kabini forests. And gradually you see that they have learned to force. We think that they are not smart, they are super intelligent. They wait for you, they stop, and then they force. There was one more cub who was refusing to come out. We have captured that cub also. He was not joining these two. So because of that, these we enjoyed around 1 hour of a show, because the other cub refused to come. He was a bit scared. So these things, like you get to see these things happening in our backyard, in our villages, where a cow cares for its calf. Even in the animal kingdom, the beasts also, where the mother, where it comes to motherly love, you see the same picture happening. We're lucky to get some of these sightings. Recently, around 10 days ago, we were there in Kabini, and we got to see her with next litter of two fully grown cubs, one male and one female. But probably she's now looking to mate. So the third litter is expected in the next 6 months, probably. Backwater female, we told. So she hunted a wild boar right in front of us. One of our wildlife is now ACS. His son had captured this event on his mobile phone. It went viral and was immediately on the news. This is in I think, Ranthambore, no, Kana. This is in Kana. So I think Kana zone, where a female hunted a stag and she was carrying. And maybe around 20 safaris we went to capture this black panther of Kabini. One day we saw the backwater female. We didn't see the female, but we saw her three cubs with one previous litter sub-adult, both in the waters. And then we rushed. We got information that the black panther is on a banyan tree, and it was 6 p.m. Dying lights. What you see is pure editing. We didn't see the Black Panther like this. It was dark. Our cameras were good. We are with the use of ISO and aperture control, shutter speed, like what Dr. Sopi sir explained already. So we captured this Black Panther. He was injured on his forehead. Too many fights happening in the Kabini forest when the Black Panther was around. He moved to the Nagarole, or the Kurg side of Nagarole. After that, he has not been sighted for more than 2.5 years. So he was already 9 years old. So we don't know whether he really exists now. The typical trademark position of a leopard after a full meal in the afternoon, they enjoy sleeping. This is also a long distance shot, sleeping on the branch of a tree. Some close shots. Lucky enough to get these things, a mother with two cubs. They didn't come in the same frame, but we were able to capture them separately. This is in Jalana. You know that Jalana has a good number of leopards and quite FT ones. This is a ferocious male walking towards us. For around 25-30 minutes, he was there in front of us. As he was walking, female with a cub crossed the paths, and because there is a cub, one is that the female would not be ready to mate. Second thing is that the female also rolled over, growled, refusing to allow to be mated or to safeguard the cub. She was almost like pleading to save the cub. And the cub, you see, rested down on the floor in full submission. Again, our Kabini crossing over from Kabini side towards Kurg side of Nagarole. herd of elephants. You see how the baby elephant is always protected in between the mothers, female elephants. Rare sighting because they seldom don't show up. Bear walking across, and when you sight a bear, it is more luckier than sighting a tiger or a leopard in the forest. And a baby python crawling so slowly. We were lucky enough to capture photographs and videos of this Indian rock python. They are vulnerable when they are on the ground because any animal can bite and eat them. The Indian roller, already mentioned earlier, the state bird of Karnataka in various positions, modes. The kingfisher, this is the white-throated kingfisher, and the white-bellied woodpecker. Some birds in the flight mode, and the crested hawk eagle. So again, these you get to see commonly in the Kabini forests because we have a good number of crested hawk eagles here. But the problem is that in this safari we didn't sight crested hawk eagle. Maybe it's close to monsoon, some rains, not able to sight them. The endangered species here, the vultures. So you can see a male tiger had killed a Indian Gaur bull, and the leftovers were being eaten by there were around 25 to 30 vultures in this place. Rufous tree pine. And captured in Bharatpur, the white-cheeked barbet. So the detailing you can see, like what Soppi sir told, if you capture it well with the background of the sky also, using adequate light, ISO and aperture, you can capture that. The detailing should be like that. The feathers, the fine hairs, the eye of the bird must be very well seen. That is when the photography is in good, and the division, you can see that the framing of the photograph so that the bird is on the right side looking towards the left side. The glossy ibis, painted stork in flight mode. So you see hundreds of painted storks. If somebody is a birder, they should go to Bharatpur with good number of memory cards and batteries because lovely birds, particularly February time, you get lots of birds to sight there. The brown fish owl suddenly took off and we were trying to photograph in the evening. Spotted owlets. Again, the Kabini, the crested hawk eagle. Here you can see the woolly stork in Ranthambore trying to land. Similarly, if you use the light, the sunlight falling from different angles, how the bird looks so nice. If you increase the ISO, you get more noise. So you should be careful at what ISO you are shooting the birds. If they are at around 10 feet distance or 15 feet distance, you can shoot them very well. Beyond that, you can see this small blue kingfisher with a catch, but it was far away. So you won't get the sharpness. This was in Philibit. You can see that the bird, the clarity, the beauty of photography with a good camera and lens. And when they catch these sprays, the insects, they don't eat them immediately. They kill them and then they show it off also. This is Indian national bird shot at Bandipur. As you may not see the details, but if you zoom in, you see that there is a drizzle happening, and even at the beak, the tip of the beak, you can see a drop of water. So that is not everything like tiger or leopard is not the highlight of the forest. Even there are many things which are capture your eye in the forest. River terns commonly seen at Bhadra and backwaters of Kabini with a catch. The Saras cranes not seen everywhere. This was caught in the fields, wheat fields of the Pilibhit, not in the forest. There were around 2 pairs there with synchronized singing. One of the largest cranes, very tall ones. Some spiders at Old Magazine House, Dr. Rathkal was mentioning, very close to Hubli. Nice place to go for birding and as well as reptiles. So the detailing you can get to see from these photographs is amazing. I didn't have a macro lens at that time, so I had taken this photograph using my usual 500 lens, but from a distance with micro focus adjustment so that I get the sharper picture. Again, the Malabar pitted viper. This was in Ganeshpuri. They were all in. If you go to old magazine house, you see the snakes on the road, in the inside the resort. So they give you a torch to walk, and in the night you must be careful because there will be crossing over of all sorts of snakes there. Again, this was also shot there. We were shooting this the wine snake, green wine snake, and there were two actually, one after the other. That was one, and this was the other. They are smaller than our little finger. So we were just, no, we took this photograph and went away. Then suddenly, no, this person called us back, and this is what we got to see when the person called us back. It had caught a very small lizard. Imagine the size of the snake and the size of the lizard, and it swallowed it. We took the whole videograph of the way it swallowed. So from all these things, what we find out is if we don't conserve our ecosystem, we will miss out a lot on these things. We may not get to see these things ourselves, as well as the next generation will miss it. Everybody will have to see these things on the National Geographic. So we can't exist by destroying nature. There should be an ecosystem, there should be greenery, there should be wild animals. Everybody has a place on this earth. It's not your own personal jaidad that you can capture and destroy everything. So you have to understand the behavior of the wildlife. Dr. Naaz has put a question that how safe? Definitely it is risky. We have been chased by elephants many times. Fortunately, the tigers have been quite close to our jeeps, maybe 2.5, 3 feet also. Luckily, they have not attacked us. They can easily put their paw up and smash us, punch us, that it will cause severe injury. We have to be very, very careful. And with the day of mobile cameras, people are in the selfie mode or trying to take the tiger at very close distance. They can easily attack us, particularly when there are cubs. So when there are cubs with the animals like the tigers, particularly, or the elephants, please be careful, maintain a distance. They will warn you first and then they will charge unprovokedly, like what happened in Dubai. For 50 years around, people were going there to watch the elephants, also take photographs very close to them. It was not a new thing. And then one of the elephant tuskers attacked Makana. Wildlife have to be protected. So the more you are closer to nature, you visit nature and wildlife, you will learn to better care for the environment better. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Venkat, for that wonderful, especially the take-home message about safety. Safety over photograph. No hobby should kill you or put your life in danger. That's what I also believe. Many a times I've been offered to sit on the elephant and take photograph. Only once I agreed, and that's the day the tiger attacked us. I have the video, but the mouth will lose his job if I post it online. Where the tiger charges exactly like Kaziranga in Bandhavgarh. Oh, I decided that day the hobby should not kill us. It should keep us alive to come back again and again.
Correct.
Right, sir. So, thank you, Venkat. We'll come back for discussion, time permitting. So, I'll go to the last speaker, that is myself. I'll just share my screen 1 minute. Martin?
So your co-host, you can share.
No, the button is not there to share. 1 minute. I'm not able to share, Martin. Can my screen be seen?
No, sir.
Not able to share. A minute. Not able to share it. Martin? Hello?
Yes, yes. Still the co-host, sir. So
I got it. 1 minute.
Okay, sir.
Probably I'll, whatever I say, I'll try not to repeat. So my short introduction, I'm Dr. Srinivas Pai, Professor Surgery Unit Chief, Vice Principal, CD Saimer, Haroli, South Bangalore. So Dr. Rathkal had mentioned a slide there. Can you see the slides, everyone? Hello?
Yeah, you can see.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
sir, we can.
Actually, before becoming a doctor, I was a naturalist. And probably I wanted to pursue in that line, but my father, being a doctor, said there's not much money to be made in as a naturalist. So probably I was born in the wrong era. Probably now they'd have agreed, parents. But at that time, one had to be a doctor or an engineer. So since my dad was a doctor, it was easier for me to take up medicine. So then I gradually turned into a photographer. I was a naturalist. I used to observe and document. And then I used to work in conservation little when time permitted. But a lot of people started asking me, where is the proof of the animals you have seen? So I was lucky when coming to sighting big cats, but I used to carry only a binocular in those days. I used to go to safari only in a binocular, only with a binocular. Gradually, the people started demanding proof. So I bought a camera and I started just like Venkat said, a low-end one. So some of the lessons I learned over the years and which I applied into surgery, patience, because there are a lot of patience required in bird photography, a lot of patience required in mammal photography, especially tiger photography, any wildlife, because it's unpredictable. So some of that wildlife you may see with your eyes, but you might not be able to take the photo. That's why I said the best photos are the ones you don't take many times. You observe and the light is not good, or the memory card runs out, or the battery runs out. So many times our patience is tested. The same thing in surgery. We persevere. We don't give up. We fail so many times in photography, and then we come back. We relook at what went wrong, and just like surgery. And the determination and introspection. A lot of introspection happens, especially for me. When I go to wildlife photography and waiting for the wildlife, I think a lot about what could have been. I think about my cases sometimes. It's not a total switch off from work. At least that's a time I cool down and think calmly what could have been done different, those failures or mistakes which I made. What I gained also, friends, other than Dr. Rathkal there, Professor Rathkal sir, and Dr. Arun S.K. and Soppimath sir and Venkat, and many others, I made a lot of friends outside the medical field. I think Anand Vikamshi is one who is to accompany us sometimes for safari. His brother Pramod and Mr. Amit Rao is a builder. All these guys are heavily into conservation, especially Amit Rao. Lot of wildlife around Hubli, especially wolf and leopard. Not many people know, along with the black pucks. Recognition other than surgery and the chance to reboot my brain. A week in the forest, I felt, is equivalent to a year's supply of peace and energy. Maybe not peace, but energy definitely. It's an illusion that photos are made with a camera. They are made with the eye, heart, and head, just like surgery. It's an illusion that surgery is performed with the instruments. They are performed with the eye, heart, and head. The same thing applies here also. Of course, the person who said this said it in the context of photography. The care, although it's important, it's not really important in the sense that it's not the only thing which matters. I'll give you an analogy from surgery itself. There are many great laparoscopic surgeons who have spoken here, and many other great surgeons there in the audience. The best laparoscope or best energy source doesn't automatically guarantee you to be a great surgeon. It's the other way around. A great surgeon with training and skills and with vision and that foresight and that anticipation, just like photography, he does the best surgery. And that equipment which is given to him, he uses to the best of its ability. Same thing applies in photography. The gear doesn't make a photographer great or allows him to take a photographer great. It's the other way around. A great photographer will be able to shoot with any gear provided to him. Now, a photograph should tell a story, always tell a story. We should try to make images. A photograph that tells a story is an image. If the viewer, other than the photographer, is able to decipher a story, doesn't matter if the story doesn't align with the photographer, we call it an image. And three things are necessary for this: the composition, the light, and of course, how you take it. So there's something called as a decisive moment. It is a split second moment, and you have to anticipate. You have to anticipate. Just like you have to anticipate bleeding or any other complication, you have to anticipate the precise moment where everything aligns itself. And then we have an image. So this is the story of these cubs. Because I am a student of biology and naturalist, I knew that at a point of time, these cubs, the way they were behaving, they will jump up in the water. I was ready with this photograph. Others who in my group missed it because they shot the tigers. They emptied their memory cards and storage, and then the camera went heated. But I was waiting. So do not just click any image, any photograph. Click an image always. So this is one of my favorite images to precisely tell this point. This is the T-17, or what Rathkal sir was mentioning, Krishna, the Machli's granddaughter, the tigress which was chasing the bull. So we recognized it chasing the bull. We missed the shots. We were regretting. I thought the tiger will bring the bull down and then we get a hunting shot. Unfortunately, the bull was faster, but on the return, we got great images. This is one of them, coming back. Light is very important. Understanding the light, how to adjust with light, how to play with light, very important in nature photography. This is something from physics called as the Tyndall effect. Whenever you shoot into a rising sun through a forest, to get this effect called as the Tyndall effect, makes great images. Great images, tells a great story. You can see the sal trees there with the rays filtering through and the road. It's called as a leading line. And then this is again a decisive moment, anticipation. This is now belongs to Indigo, but however, I have my own copies, slightly other images. But this elephant child, the calf, came through the legs of the elephant and made a pose like that. And I thought it's a wonderful image. There were others in with me. They just shot, but they missed this shot because they were shooting this elephant playing the small elephant. But the anticipation again. This is again the white-bellied woodpecker. It's a large wood in the Indian subcontinent. It's the second largest woodpecker. So this is in Dandeli, Old Magazine House. Old Magazine House are full of my friends there. So they call me up when anything unusual comes. So there's one area I miss after moving to Bangalore. I'd been there a couple of times, even after I left Dharwad. It is just an hour's drive. They said there is a woodpecker and she's nesting and the chicks are come out. And this is a photograph of them feeding there. This again appeared in the Better Photography magazine. This elephant was being chased by a tiger and it ran. Instead of photographing the tiger, which was running too fast, I focused on the elephant. So the elephant image got chosen and not the tiger, which is the other image, which is behind it. It didn't fit into the lens. So I was unhappy and happy. I wanted the elephant and tiger in one frame, but this made a mysterious image with the fog and the lighting and other things. Dr. Venkat shot a leopard on a tree. But I can tell you that tigers also climb trees. And I have many images of tigers relaxing on the tree. This is one of them which is looking at me. All others are looking the other way. So I didn't put them. So tigers, when they are up to the age of 2, they do climb trees and sit on them to protect themselves. So this is in Bandhavgarh. This again was with Dr. Rathkal. I was with Dr. Rathkal. The reflections and other thing. I love to shoot reflections because they give sort of symmetry to the image. You can divide the image exactly into 2. The waterline divides exactly into 2. And this is a memorable trip because we survived. If Dr. Rathkal remembers, we had an accident. Just before we photographed this tiger, 1 day before, 2 days before, we had an accident, a collision with another Indica. And there was a total loss of the car, if I remember, on the way to Bandhavgarh. But we saw so many tigers on that trip and photographed memorable photographs. Again, I said I love reflection. So this tiger anticipated that she's going to come. And unfortunately, I had to take a landscape. Instead of a landscape, I had to take a vertical shot, portrait shot to get the entire tiger in. This is another tiger with the contrast with the red kusum tree. This is one tree which turns red and then turns green. The leaves are red first and then they gradually turn green. So the tiger walked underneath it. This is the money shot for the flamingo. Whenever the flamingo meets like that, they make the shape of a heart. If you can make out, it's the two heads make into a heart. This is what people desire when shooting a flamingo. Dr. Soppimath showed them dancing. This is one of the desirable images, a heart shape. This is what Dr. Soppimath and Dr. Rathkal were telling, the grasslands of Dharwad. It's very close to where I stayed, just 2.5 kilometers. Now it has been replaced by stone crushers and these kestrels, pallid harriers, Montagu harriers, and I saw even the Amur falcon there once, and I saw the lesser kestrel once. Because I live closer, so I was able to see all of them. It's just a 10 minutes drive from where I used to stay. So one day I found this. These hunt the animals and they store them. So I found a store headless mouse. I knew this bird will come. So I waited and in 30 minutes it arrived and it started eating. This is the shot I got. Those grasslands have now been totally destroyed, unfortunately. Again, the Venkat mentioned this Bharatpur. This is from Bharatpur, where the grey heron was stretching its wings. Wolves are a big animal found in Hubli itself. These are not from Hubli. This is from a place called Valchandanagar. For a few years they were there. Now the pack has moved on to another area. And I think this is the last image, I think. So this particular image is always I have played it. Even last time when I talked about photography, I had played this image. This is an image of a mother elephant which is leading its calf to water. Now, there is a story here. The story is, it gives some, both photography wise and the story wise, both are relevant here. I'll tell you about the photography first. These lines, you can see these lines. There's one line number 1, if you follow the arrow, line number 2, and the horizon. Never put much horizon in your image. Either the horizon should be way at the bottom or at the top, the sky horizon. So there is mountains. So everything is in a horizontal line. There are different textures in this image and elephants of different sizes. There is a foreground of those pebbles. There's a background of mist and mountains. That is the technical aspects and rule of thirds or whatever some people were talking. So there are technical, it takes images, but there's a story also. The story is of a leader. Most of our surgeons who had departments or had units, they perform a leadership role and they guide their assistants or their residents or their proteges to the right path. It's a straight line, right path. The water represents the reward. The water represents the reward, and if you walk the straight path, if you follow your leader, he or she will lead you to the water, which is the reward. The reward may be money, the reward may be skill, whatever. The second story is about the Indian jungle, the vastness of Mother Earth or Mother Indian jungle. The elephant is the largest land animal in India, the Indian elephant. In Africa, it's the African elephant. So the forest, the elephant looks tiny compared to the forest. The third story here is of the river. So if somebody gets this, then my work as a wildlife photographer is done. Thank you for a patient hearing. So if there are, I'll just log out this one and I will go back. Am I being, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, definitely, yes.
Yeah. So I'll just stop sharing and I'll get back and then we can have a discussion there. So I knew many people will talk many things, so I kept it a little. So questions and discussion. We will start with Dr. Arun, sir.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Yeah. So you are very much into conservation, and it's great to hear that somebody from a fraternity. Usually, these people from arts colleges and those who are involved in arts are actively in conservation. But here, you're a surgeon. Do you find a lot of difficulty in taking part in the conservation activities?
Not much, sir. Obviously, if you love something, you'll find time. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And especially at being surgeons, in fact, obviously we can schedule our surgeries at an appropriate time and, make time for our other activities too.
And what you said, North Karnataka has that Bailseema has more wildlife actually than what we think. There are wolves
That's right.
also. Your
Of
side,
course.
the road which comes from Hubli to your Bellary, there is people who are conserving wolves also in that area. There's large
That's right,
packs
sir.
of wolves.
Koppal area.
Koppal area. I want to tell you that in outskirts of Hubli, on the road to Gadag, there are wolf pack, and there are I have seen them, the wolf. There are wolf packs and there are leopards also. Actually, they have come to Naptangbetta also.
Leopards are everywhere, sir. Obviously, leopards.
Yeah.
I think if we just in Bangalore itself, I think according to what it's been documented about in Bangalore city itself, they have about 70 leopards.
No, in Bangalore, where I'm staying, actually, there is a very next to the road which is next to my building. It's called Turalli Forest.
Correct.
So in what you had the image, of the leopard sitting, like people have seen it sitting on the boulder. You can easily see it.
Correct. Leopards are the most adaptable cats. They can survive eating, anything for that matter.
And in the Bangalore city itself, on the way to Kanakpura, there is an elephant bridge where the elephant, leopard, and all. I heard even a tiger is there, but we are not sure about that. But they cross that bridge and go from Banerghatta to the Savandurga. They cross it regularly.
Go and place a camera trap, sir.
No, there is a camera trap. There is a camera.
Muttatti, not Savandurga, Muttatti.
Muttatti, yes. So, Dr. Jaideep, you're only going to Gudihal nowadays.
Yeah, sort of nearby. Even that is getting destroyed. Unfortunately, a lot of poultry farms and all. And the lake is really full. So, that sort of stops the birds.
So, Soppimath sir, anything, advice or anything to add?
Oh, me? No. Nothing. I just say that just go out, enjoy the nature in whatever form you can. Whether you do the photography or not, doesn't matter. Just venture out, spend time in nature.
No, I would advise surgeons to buy a normal lens so that they can photograph their work. The camera was basically to photograph surgery because it is lying there just like that. The high-end cameras, because macro mainly for clinical photography, any rare thing. But what happens nowadays? The mobile phones came, so the mobile phones are very good. But they're not allowed in the safaris anymore. I want to tell you, because I have been to the safaris of late. They are not allowing the mobile phones. And now they're not allowing the jeep also inside. I think Venkat will be able to guide us.
No. That was some questions raised. No, the forest minister was a bit against safaris. The PCCF now has appraised him about that these issues of animals coming close to the jeeps have been happening for decades. They won't attack unprovokedly. So they wanted to have closed jeep safaris, not the ones which we have now, the Bolero which partly open.
Yep.
Or not the open jeeps like you have in Ranthambore or Bandhavgarh. So gypsies. So right now we has dropped the idea. Second thing is your eyes are the best camera, like what Dr. Rathkal told. You miss many things to capture on the camera, but you would have seen with your eyes. So that is also more important. Go there even if you don't have a camera. Go and enjoy the wildlife. That's also good.
And there's this one, Mr. Sudhi Shivram. I think you should follow him. And his philosophy of photography is excellent, because I heard from him many times. I've been in safaris where he comes with a workshop. One of his policies is what I put up, don't just click photos. Make an image. That's from him, from his lines. Make an image. Otherwise, it's of no use. But if you want to shoot a tiger, you can go to a zoo. So he is a big believer of habitat shot and other things. If you follow him, and he also conducts the workshops. Suppose somebody wants help, he will conduct the workshop, and he's excellent actually. His
No,
photograph.
amateurs can go one trip with him.
Yeah.
Somebody if they are not known much,
Yeah.
or even if they come with us also, there are many photographers in our own groups. Soppimath is there. Like they can come and learn the tips.
So with that, I think if somebody wants to add anything, we can hand it over back to Sarvesh, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it was very nice. How the time went, we don't know actually. You all 5 people took us through. Now the comments from our chairman. Madam, please.
Dr. Siddesh sir, would you like to add something, sir?
No, I'm just spellbound.
Yes.
Every time Dr. Pai was asking, are you able to hear me? I couldn't respond because I was spellbound. You see, the way nature is, and all of them have conveyed their own way of looking at nature. And that's what the essence of life is. They were trying to convey what is life through their own ideas and through their own eyes. And that's all. I cannot say more because nature is something which is so beautiful and so vivid. And just to add my stint at photography, as a Boy Scout at the age of 14, we got trained to handle those days the Kodak C-35 or something, a single lens camera, which was having a winding black and white. And we had set up in the Scout headquarters, we had set up a lab for developing and printing our own makeshift thing. So we were doing certain things, but of course, after joining medicine, of course, earlier to that, I got more interested in mountaineering and hiking. But of course, photography took a back seat. Those days, we didn't have such good cameras as well. All photographs I have on those days, whatever we took from hiking were just a black and white C-35, that camera. I don't know if anybody remembers. That was the only Indian camera which was available. And then, of course, it died down because of joining medicine, took away all our energy. But good to see our colleagues having taken up seriously. They have and we are seeing through their eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Look,
It was
Pai,
indeed,
one thing. Yes,
yeah.
madam.
Please
Please
go ahead.
complete.
No, please.
No. One of many of people who missed this have been asking if this can go to YouTube and we get a link.
Yeah, we'll share the link immediately in the groups also. We'll do that.
Right, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. And just if you can mention, like, what is the camera first you should start with. So because we go to buy something and then we don't know whether we should buy the high ends or what. Basic something if you can suggest. And then somebody says that you can add a lens to your mobile and then start shooting. So how much is this possible?
No, there are different advantages of having cameras, madam, because the
Yes.
crisper images, the zoom, as well as the shutter speed and the adjustments that you can make on the ISO quickly, and also the fast motion sports, running animals pictures or flying bird pictures. These cameras, they can start anywhere between 35 to 40,000 and go on up to maybe 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs per camera. There is no end to it. The lenses also, they cost around, good lenses 300 to 400. 400 is considered, 400 lens is considered as a decent lens. So they may come up to around like 60, 70,000 and may go up to 15 lakhs. So we need to have a decent Sony Alpha mirrorless. Mirrorless lenses are better. They are lightweighted. They are preferred these days, and they come with a bigger mount. Like in Nikon, we call it a Z mount, wider mouth apertures. So this thing, the lens mounts. So you can buy a Sony mirrorless camera, a decent one, may come to around anywhere around 1 to 1.5 lakhs plus a 400 or 500 lens with equal mount you can buy together. That and decent binoculars, 8,000, 10,000 rupees binoculars, because for long distance birds or viewing the birds, it will be useful. So if you have these two things in in your baggage, that should be fine enough to start with. Later on, you can always upgrade things. And there are many people, Dr. Arun will know, Dr. Pai will know, they will be ready to sell their cameras. If the cameras are in good condition, you can always buy at a cheaper rate from them. Cameras and lenses both.
Naaz, can I add here?
Yeah, please.
See, so it's very subjective. If you plan to buy a camera, it depends on how much, how interested you are in photography, how much time you can give for photography, and how committed you are. It's simple as that.
Okay.
You can buy a simple camera, or you can go for high-end cameras which runs into lakhs. It depends. Everything depends on your interest.
Anybody else want to give something? Thank you. Yes, sir.
This is one hobby where there is no return on investment.
That is there.
The returns are inversely proportional to, in terms of money, but in terms of pleasure and what you're going to get in your brain. So we are making enough money, I feel, personally. So I think we should enjoy a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, most of the surgeons will be able to afford.
Yes.
But what happens, what Dr. Arun was making was, once you buy it, you should not gain dust or fungus. The best camera, like all of these guys ask me this question, which is the best camera? The best camera is the one you use. If you buy the best camera and it stays in your cupboard, then it is not the good camera. All my photos, if you have seen, they look similar, but all are from different cameras. There is not a single repetition in the cameras there. Because I believe that any camera can be tweaked to take a good image, if you know your photography. So start with a system, invest in a system, Nikon, Canon, and Sony. Now, the Nikon and Canon have excellent service centers all over India. Sony is catching up in gear and all, but it is expensive, Sony little. But Nikon and Canon are more sort of commercial. They are more towards Canon is and Nikon is a good fight. Earlier, Nikon used to be called a wedding photographer's camera, and Canon is to be called a wildlife photographer's camera. So I shoot Nikon. It has caught up, and once you invest in a system, then you can buy the lenses, whichever you'll find out which sort of genre you're going to take up, because you're not going to get money back whatever you invest.
100%. Yes.
So whatever you enjoy, you buy that lens.
Yes.
And then you have to look after that gear. That's also there. There are a lot of, in India, our weather is not suitable to, especially my native area, coastal areas, and Hubli and Dharwad also, and Bangalore. Very humid climate. You need to look after your lenses, otherwise the fungus will come. So not only you're going to buy, so you'll realize that the moment you get into this, you'll be spending more and more and more. Sky's the limit.
Yes.
Okay, right.
Okay, sir. Thank you all of you for this wonderful session. I think most of us have really enjoyed, and we'll have a lot of people watching this on YouTube also. Dr. Sarvesh? Dr. Sarvesh?
He is muted.
Yes.
Yeah. Please go. Take over,
Yeah,
please.
it was wonderful. Srinivas Pai, our eyes are the best cameras.
Yeah.
I feel, because we had our eyes now today on all the 5 cameras, what you people have captured. So the program was very nice. And Dr. Gurbasan, are you there? I think he has left answer there. Watching him, he was there. So for today's program, it was very nicely planned and executed. I thank our chairman, KSC-ASI, Dr. Naaz Jahan Shaikh, for arranging and promoting the program in the surgeon's time. Thank you, madam. I thank our moderator, Dr. Srinivas Pai, for moderating the things, and as a speaker also, dual role. And we know Dr. Soppimath, who will be so passionate to do the things.
Thank you.
And Dr. Venkatachala, and our Dr. Arun and Dr. Jaideep. and all the participants, Dr. Siddesh sir, and our EC members, and our Dr. Rajgopal Chennai has said that he has some family function, that's why he couldn't attend, or else he would have attended. So I thank all our members who have participated in this program. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you all.
Good
Thank you.
night. Thank you.
Good night. Good night.
Thanks, everybody. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you.